Welcome back, YouTube, to another 2021 Player Outlook presented by RotoHeat.com. This time we're talking Rondale Moore, wide receiver, Arizona Cardinals. Don't forget, smash that like, the subscribe, the notification icon, stay up to date like I tell you in every video with all the stuff we got going on here. Let's get to it. All right, so of the 14 analysts that look into Rondale Moore, we think he's going to finish somewhere between wide receiver 35 and 41 overall when we get to the end of the season. 8 are buying, 5 are holding, 1 selling. So obviously this is a guy that the team is more on than off. We think his ADP is going to be higher this time next year than it is currently. And we think he's just going to be a dart throw in 2021. But let me know in the comments below, do you think this is a guy that you could weekly flex, maybe have some spot starts? Is he a dark horse? You know, we just like all the things we've been talking about in these videos, I want to know what you think below. Keep that conversation going. When you look at his ADP as it stands currently in a redraft format, he's sitting at like wide receiver 79 or in the 250s overall, actually 251 overall. If you look at kind of the super flex rankings at like RotoHeat.com, he's wide receiver 44 or 113 overall. So obviously in a long-term format, people are much higher on him than the redraft scenario. The talent's there. So the issue you run into with Rondale Moore is very similar to some of the other guys that we've done videos on. I mean, even like other rookies like Trey Sermon is, and this is more extreme for Moore because he's missed even more time, is the injuries have been a huge issue for him. His rookie season, or his freshman season in college, 2018, dude blew up. You know, played in 13 games, had 114 receptions, 1,258 yards, 12 touchdowns. I mean, that's just a monster. After that, he played in 4 games, then he played in 3 games. I mean, the proof's in the pudding. Now, obviously, it didn't scare teams away because when you saw him in pre-draft workouts and when you saw him doing all the things that you do leading up to the draft, it was explosive. He showed all the things that you were expecting to see and hoping to see from that freshman season. I mean, everything's still there. The burst, the change of direction, the quickness, I mean, the route running. I mean, all the things that you love about Rondale Moore in college showed up still. So teams looked at the 2018 film, saw what he did in his time playing the next 7 games over 2 years, and Arizona obviously was willing to take a chance. Now, Arizona's a team that's deep at wide receiver. I mean, obviously we know they got Nuke and Kirk and A.J. Green, and I mean, just all these different parts of the offense that is going to be vying for targets, quite honestly. You know, when you look at this team was a top 15 offense when it came to passing attempts last year. You know, they threw 570, I think is the number. I was looking earlier. So if it isn't 570, you'll let me know in the comments because you guys do a great job keeping us in check here. They were a top offense in passing. They were also a top offense. They actually were a top 10 offense when it came to rushing attempts. So the interesting thing that I wonder about with a player like Rondale Moore, and you're seeing this a lot in the NFL, is teams looking for kind of that gadgety weapon position. Not necessarily a running back, not necessarily a wide receiver, but somewhere in between where they are doing jet sweeps and they're doing, kind of that short, very short pass attempt, get the ball in his hand, manufacture a touch so he can use the big playability, use the kind of the highlight reel type stuff to make big plays. Moore fits into that category. He's a very exciting player. You know, we just don't know exactly what the work's going to look like because Nuke's going to get his. You know, when you looked at the breakdown of the targets last year, and I'm actually going to pull up the numbers to make sure I have them right, Hopkins had 160 targets. Nobody else had more than 80. You know, Christian Kirk had 79, Fitz had 72, then, Chase Edmonds, running back, had 67. Then we got the first tight end, Dan Arnold, had 45, Isabella 35, 31 to Kenyon Drake, 23 to Keyshawn Johnson. I mean, nobody had above 80, and it's the Nuke show. But that being said, they have to diversify that offense. You can force feed DeAndre Hopkins 160 targets, yes, but there has to be some other players coming into the mix making big plays other than Nuke because, yes, he's elite, but this team wants playoffs. They want to go big. They want to be a team that's in contention for Super Bowls. You can't just rely on one singular player. You know, we know the running game is in transition with Edmonds and James Conner and Benjamin and whatever that looks like. So Rondale Moore could get on the field in a multitude of ways. You know, they could have 2 backs in the backfield and one of them being Rondale Moore, and they manufacture touches that way. But keep this conversation going below. What do you think about Rondale Moore? I know I asked questions earlier about ADPs and things like that. But is this guy somebody that you're big on long-term, big on short-term? I want to keep that conversation going below. Don't forget, check out the other 2021 player outlooks in the playlist below. Love you guys. Bye.